Yo, what is up? Welcome back. Today in this video, we're going to take a look at Nightwing's abilities. We're going to take a look at them in action, when and where you might want to use them. We're also going to take a look at the skills and how some of the skills apply to the abilities. Y'all are going to have to let me know in the comments, what do you think about Nightwing's abilities and which one of his abilities is your favorite? But starting off, let's talk a little bit about how you unlock these. Well, two of them are given to you at the start. You do have 4 more that do come up by completing challenges. You do have one over here. I think it's this one, Bright Night or Nest, one of these two. You do get by completing his story progression, the Nightwing story progression. And then the last one, honestly, I cannot remember. So if you do remember, let me know in the comments and let everybody else know. Let's talk about each of the abilities first. I know they have a little video over there on the side, but we're going to jump into some gameplay so you can see it, I guess, firsthand. But the first one, Shotgun Darts, I think the first 2 are the ones that you're given, this one and this one. But Shotgun Darts, it is a guard break, which means that there's a little shield that comes up on some of the really big enemies, and you can use this to break their guard. Now, one of the things that I use, I don't necessarily use this for guard break a whole lot. I kind of use heavy attack, but the one thing that this one does is hit really hard, probably the hardest hitting ability. Now, Elemental Shockwave, which again is another one I believe that in the beginning is given to you. The one thing that I do like about this one is it is piercing, which means that it interrupts attacks. So if you have those really big guys that are getting ready to attack you, and if you don't necessarily want to dodge, it will interrupt their attack. Another thing that I like about this, it actually goes through the enemy. It's like an AoE effect. So if there's one enemy standing behind another enemy, it will hit both of them and not just the first one. And then we got Pounce. This is one that I do like to use in, I guess, sticky situations. When you have a bunch of enemies around you, you can just hit RB and tap A, and he'll jump straight up and find an enemy and land right on top of them. So it's an easy way to get out of things. And then last of the basic abilities, we got Speed Boost. And this one is one of the funnest ones to play, at least to me. They're the more fun to play. You just basically get a speed boost. He hits harder, he moves faster, he dodges faster, he attacks faster. It is a lot of fun to play, to jump around the map. 15-second duration, so it's really cool. And then we got Dart Storm. This is probably the least used ability, at least for me, because all it is just a basic AoE effect. And if it's going to cost you 2 bars or 2 momentum bars, I would rather use Whirlwind instead of this one. All it is just a basic AoE. It's really cool when it activates, and I love the you know, shooting all of the darts around and whatever, but I definitely don't use it very much. And then we got Whirlwind. This one's definitely a lot of fun to use. An AoE effect, a damage over time effect. The one thing about this one though is you could be in Whirlwind and get interrupted. You can start it and literally get interrupted by some other enemy's heavy attack or something. So you can't just use this whenever you want. You just have to be able to use it at the right time to where you're not going to get interrupted. Then we got Bright Night, which is another AoE, and more importantly, it is a piercing effect, which means again, it can stop or interrupt attacks while they're taking place. It's really cool because it can stun as well, and it's also fear-inducing, which is amazing. Like, they get scared, they fall on the ground, they run and hide. It doesn't do that for all enemies. I guess the enemies have to be kind of susceptible to it. But it's really cool because it's like an AoE effect and it hits everybody that's in close range. One bad thing about this is they do have to be fairly close in order to use it. But if you can get the stuns, if you can get the fear-inducing, it's really useful. And then finally, we have the Nest. This has probably been the most useful out of all of his abilities, especially once you start doing the very hard criminal activities where there's a whole bunch of enemies and some of them that can get you cornered and do lots of damage. This is really useful. It does last 20 seconds. It's fear-inducing, which is really nice. It does damage over time, which is really nice. So any enemy that is inside of it takes damage, whether you're hitting them or not. Some of them do fall over. Some of them get scared, run and hide. But I think most importantly, and why I use this the most, is that you take less damage when you're inside of it and you constantly heal. So if you're really in trouble or have a whole lot of enemies, you can basically just sit inside this bubble, take as much damage as you basically want, and you'll still be healing and get defensive boosts and be able to live through it just fine. Let's take a look at the skills real quick and which one of those affect the momentum abilities. Now, over on Knighthood, we have the Nest. We have these two over here that do affect the Nest. And the bad thing about Nest is the cooldown is 5 minutes. But if you unlock this skill, defeating an enemy reduces the Nest ability cooldown by 15%. Now, if you have a whole lot of enemies and you use the Nest in the very beginning, like if you have 15 or 10 enemies, use the Nest in the very beginning, start defeating enemies immediately, it immediately starts regenerating cooldown 15%, so you can use it again a lot quicker. Then increase the size of the Nest, which is always useful. Another two that I think are certainly crucial when it comes to Nightwing, the skills that I think fit with the momentums that you should definitely unlock no matter what. The first one on the Raptor side, Nightwing's Pounce ability, automatically followed up by a high jump. So if you don't have this and you use the Pounce, he doesn't go very high and you really can't do anything after that. But if you unlock this one, then he jumps up in the air really high, which means you can follow up with another attack or use it to get away or something like that. And then if you use the one underneath it, the aerial bounce, he bounces off an enemy, which means you can do an aerial attack again after you use Pounce. So you use Pounce and then use aerial attack again and again and again. And it does only let you do it 3 times before it just ends, but that gives you 3 extra attacks. And then the last 3 that I think you definitely need if you're using Nightwing, grants Nightwing an extra momentum bar. You really need momentum bars. Every character needs momentum bars, so you're gonna need this one. And then increases Nightwing momentum gain by 15%. Definitely gonna want that one because in order for you to get momentum, you have to do things like dodge or beat enemies or, do things like that. And then performing an evade chain during combat restores a portion of the Nightwing momentum. All right, let's go with a little showcase and so you can see the abilities and stuff. We're gonna start with the Pounce. Again, you could chain to multiple targets, which is always cool. We're gonna go Whirlwind now. The only bad thing with Whirlwind, again, you can get it broke. And so that is one unfortunate thing. Let's recharge our momentum real quick. Okay, so you can see the darts. Hit him with one of those. A dart, bah! You see how much health that takes off? That's like the biggest hit that Nightwing has, which I really like as far as the abilities go. Elemental. AoE, you see how it just attacks all the enemies in front and behind it, which is kind of cool. Here's another one. We're gonna go with the Nest. We'll put it right in front of the cage, so anybody that comes in here is gonna take damage. We constantly heal. Our health was getting low. It's a lot easier to kill everybody in here. You see them come in, they got fear induced. You see a little like scary face over them anytime they are fear induced, which is cool. Let's do the speed. He's really quick. Really quick. Moves faster, jumps faster, attacks faster, runs faster. All right, let's show another one. Yeah, we can see, how else again he does. We'll start off with the Whirlwind. Clear out the people next to the hostage, although, they don't get hurt by it. Thank goodness. I like his dodge too because it clears out anybody. Elemental effect. We got them all perfect for the dart storm. Again, really good for enemies that dodge. which is why I like Dart Storm, which is why I like Whirlwind. I think both of those are really good. Let's try the Bright. He got stunned, which makes it a lot easier. It doesn't always work on them because it does look like they can dodge it. They can't dodge the Whirlwind though, and they can't dodge the Dart Storm. So if you ever have these little guys that jump around everywhere, those two things is certainly the best. So we'll finish it off with a Whirlwind. Nightwing certainly has a fun set of tools for you to use once you get all of these momentum abilities unlocked. And one of the things I like about him is he recharges momentum very quickly, especially when you have his acrobatic dodge. You can gain it that way, and he is really quick. So, I mean, certainly a lot of fun to play with. He is the only character I've really played with, but we will do this same thing for the other characters, I am sure. Just got to get the other missions complete to unlock all that stuff. But either way, though, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Nightwing? Do you like his abilities? Give it a shot. It's certainly a lot of fun to play. But either way, guys, hopefully you did enjoy. Hit the thumbs up if you did. And yeah, I'll see y'all again soon. Y'all take it easy. We're out. Peace.